Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all for watching ABS TV. Thank you for watching from ground zero, from ground one, from diaspora. Thank you all. Hit your share button as you join. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Ambazonians, we are live and alive on ABS TV today. So we have some very, very special guests today. A lot of discussions to discuss about the events of last week, the past week. We have seen a lot of issues happening in the struggle, and we have to make sure we discuss them and we see what way forward. And so hit your share button as you join. Let me introduce the guests. We have people you already know who really have this struggle at heart. Uh, our guests today come from a variety of backgrounds, and but you know all of them have similar views to arrive Boya. That is all what we want. So I want to believe all of you on ground zero are doing very well. I know the weather is good there, you know. And again, I want to welcome all of you. I want you to believe that the state of this struggle is very, very strong. So don't be fooled. Our freedom is becoming very close. So stay put and hit your share button. Let's talk about what has been going on in Ground Zero for the past week. Let me introduce the guests. You all know our former SOS, Dr. Ngwambe. He's here with us live and alive on ABS TV. Dr. Ngwambe,
Greetings, my brother Fritz, and my fellow Ambazonians in Ground Zero and the diaspora. Greetings to you also. I know we did for a very difficult moment as a nation, but I look forward to having, a conversation with our people, with all of you watching, alongside my fellow panelists, Pasamoto and Bishop John. So greetings to them. Ambazonia, take heart. It no easy, but we go reach.
I tell you, easy. Uh, our next guest is the SOS of Defense. You all know him. He has been very pushful. He knows a lot about all these generals, all these fighters. So he's going to tell us a lot about the happenings in Bui. We all know what happened in Bui. A very famous and powerful general has been killed. We don't know what happened. So today we're going to hear a lot about what happened in Bui. Bishop John, welcome.
Thank you very much, Comrade Fritz and Dr. Ngwambe and Pasamuto. I greet you. I want to greet the Ambazonian people everywhere on Ground Zero and Ground One and in the diaspora. It's a sad week for us because of the death of Fimasha Isubo, and I think we are going to be really talking on that today. But I want to greet all Ambazonian, like we have been listening on ABS. We shall overcome one day. This fight that we have gotten involved with, we are not going to let it go. No matter all the trials, no matter all the challenges that we encounter on the way, Boya is our destination, and nothing will stop us until we reach Boya. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Bishop. Thank you for coming. Our last guest is also a very famous fighter. He's a powerful defense chief, for FACO. You all know him. He's a defense chief for Moyoka LGA. You know him. Pasamoto, welcome.
Thank you for inviting me, Comrade Fritz. I am very, very delighted to be here today. I will start by thanking God for appointing me to come today and bring his message to the Amazonian people, and also to inspire me to make sure I deliver this message to the full extent that he wants me to do it without fear or favor. I want to I want to greet my fellow panelists and also to give a big shout out to all Amazonians who are actually viewing this show right now. Thank you.
Thank you very much for coming to the show. Thank you for answering our call. As usual, we usually have a minute of silence to all our heroes, to all our fighters, to all our fallen heroes in this struggle. We have seen what happened to General Isubu. We have seen what happened uh, to other generals there in Bui. Chacha, you have seen all what happened to the other generals. So today, I want us to have a minute of silence before we start the show. Uh, just a minute of silence for them. Thank you very much. Thank you for the minute of silence. May the soul of the departed rest in power to lead us to Boya. All these generals that have been going, they did not leave us because they want to leave us. They leave us because of their courage, because of their determination, because of their sacrifice. That's why uh, they went ahead of us. They want to say thank you, General Isubu. Thank you, General Chacha. Thank you, all the field marshals. Thank you very much. Thank you, all the captains, the generals, the floor soldiers. Man, you are doing a wonderful job. Uh, Ladies and gentlemen, we heard what happened in Bui yesterday, and it has become like a routine that only our own people are killing our own people. Our great fighters have been killed only by our own people. Great generals, from General Ivo, come down to other generals. General Chacha. Now, yesterday we heard of General Isubu. We don't know what's going on in this struggle. Do we really want to arrive Boya? Are we really fighting a, a struggle? Are we really fighting to arrive Boya? Uh, Dr. Ngwambe, can you give your own thought about this uh, continuous killing of very powerful generals? It's just like a pay for play, something that they pay people to kill only these kind of generals that are doing wonderful work.
Bro. I mean, as you're even talking this, you see how I'm looking down because it's just so shameful. It be very, very shameful, witty we dey go through, witty we dey do ourselves. It be it. I be lost for words. My fellow Amazonians, my fellow fighters, when I know say we no get enough money for fight La Republic, we dey do our best. When I know say Amazonian life it be precious, Amazonian life it be dear. I no understand how this kind bad blood where it go develop amongst we where we go turn arms against each other. You know, if I don't know. I don't know whether for somebody general them or if they get unkek between themselves. May we get some boxing gloves, give them, they made a domo, release that tension where they between ourselves that kind of way. Then they should don't discuss the matter. Then we move forward together. But this it has to stop. It's not right. For me, no fine. We are not our enemy. We're not each other's enemy. I mean, I'm very, very disappointed at what is going on there. I get it, when I did for the field, when I did for when I received the threats, then you all best know what is causing you all to instead be distracted to the point that you would kill each other instead of being focused and strategizing on hitting La Republic. For me, if it were even better if when I be to make this when I disagreement with each other publicly, so when I pretend because you want me like if you say when I fight each other, then when I use that kind of style now for instead ambush the like that one will instead better for me than for they do this thing where we hear this story where come on now. So I mean Fritz, I be sorry, I don't really get any good or better thing to talk this thing because I just be very disappointed for the matter, my man. It's sad.
Yes, all we be disappointed. Uh, Let me ask our SOS Bishop John. he go really know the circumstances the way it lead to this thing because the one will happen last time when a Chacha, General Chacha, if he know very well and he know who they be do the act. This one now when I Insubu when I be replace Chacha. Uh, Bishop John, I said this thing don't pass here because this thing don't become like a routine now where they look only the best general the way they will do something for this struggle. Bishop John.
But yeah, did I say you don't freeze too?
Yes, maybe you don't freeze. So let me ask our commander Epasamoto, bro. Yeah. That yesterday we hear about this Isubu matter. Now, how you think because we hear say if you go now go meet all the population them, for go talk for them how the thing they work and make they be make they collaborate with them. But the other version they talk say if you go for go attack uh, this unity warrior them. I don't know no because we know say Isubu na person way all he walk the way he don't do am. We don't see thing the way he do am. He don't do a lot against the La Republic military. So we all know say Capo Daniel, if you don't make some statement way, if you put whether how many million bounty on Isubu head, say they want kill Isubu by all costs. So this is the result. The Pasamoto.
Thank you, Comrade Fritz. Again, now a very sad day for we. But I think waiting was supposed for the talk now. Where did we miss it? Because if we don't know where we problem is coming from, we know no place we or how to solve this problem. Just as you talk, I believe say ATF don't take claim for this big loss. The question we'll get for ask and say, who be ADF? Why would we tolerate ATF inside Amazonia? I understand if I know the mistake, 2 years ago, the IG of former President Sako will declare ADF and Cho Ayaba a personal non grata inside Amazonian struggle. They will be banned. My question will get and say, after that, wait the way we do. After that, wait the interim government do. Because if we no find out, if we no look at from this dimension, we no will ever solve this problem. We get able fighters and where we don't succeed for stop La Republic from winning this war and taking us hostage again. But then, with one claim say we will not be able for stop ADF, I understand and I believe very well. Say ADF na a La Republic proxy. My question I say, waiting the government from I just say 3 years ago, and I talk this one and they got the government of former President Sako, wait the way he do for stop ADF. Because we don't get enough of this ADF. Killing of our soldiers, the best soldiers, and I don't know even one thing with this. When I say this government, this IG, and I refer them back to Sako regime. What did they do for stop ADF? And if you ask me that question, I will tell you say they don't do nothing. And why they don't do nothing? They don't do nothing because they are part of the La Republic play to make sure they will continue for the spin on the same place for the past years. They will don't struggle. If you ask me, would you ask what happened and what? The question is, who is responsible for this? And I will say it is Sako. Former President Sako is responsible for this because he get my trip to Boyamoni. He gets War Draft 2020. He gave war draft 2021.
Lava storm.
All I don't come for find out or for notice now say with all this, we don't come for see who Sako be. I go talk and clean and clear here. At some point in time, if at all Sako was for this struggle, Sako sold out and has since then been working for La Republique. If we not address it from that point, and this one they go down to the current regime, if we not take out ADF now zero compared to what way our boys at the face and for down there with La Republique. If we not put a program for wipe out ADF from Amazonia, then we'll continue for suffer this loss of our the best, some of our best. I will end at this point. I think other countries if we add up. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you, Epasamoto. You know, our bishop is around. I just want bishop to really give his own version because he na man for inside. He know a lot what happened behind the scene. And as compared to what happened with General Chacha, he go tell we how he see this one will happen this time. You know, I remember our SOS bishop, he be give an embargo sometime. Where some general them for ADF they be go kill some people them. So one in the way because on name them that time cross and die A4 it because on name them point and kill like all these other colony the way they be do something if you warn them say they don't want to hear that kind bad news again. Bishop John. Maybe Bishop John gets some technical problem. Yes.
Sorry, I be muted. Sorry,
Oh, okay. Sorry about that.
I was
Yes.
muted.
So my question be just be their own version. You know, this thing now thing wey dey happen every time, and we dey say na ADF they dey do am, and they dey give bounty on generals their head. Capo Daniel he write a communique last 3 or 2 or so months. He say Isubo he get bounty for head 10 million bounty. Na so Capo Daniel write am. Say any man wey go bring Isubo he will get 10 million. You know. Then I be see so you communicate to where we make some communicate last time. Where we won this fight and for most of the way that cross and die and so other one them. You be call them A4 Supreme point and kill. You call a lot of the way they cause a lot of havoc, kidnapping and ransom.
Yes, Comrade Fritz. It be very unfortunate. Say things like this still happen for Ambazonia. All we get for the fight for go for Boya, we get plenty frog the day for inside Ambazonia, La Republic citizens, La Republic agents, DODM, all delegates and all these La Republic business people the day for inside Ambazonia, we leave them and we go now after our own people. What way happen with with FM Isubo, he get many connection. But one of the immediate one now the emergence of the Bui Unity Warriors. The Bui Unity Warrior now he can bring this loss for FM Isubo don't get them. FM Isubo will immediately be taken from General Chacha or FM Chacha. We be see how this young man he hold Bui, he make Bui a no-go area for La Republique du Cameroon. FM Isubo, it be hope we be hot constantly. I be get system where it work with the with people there, you know. And from nowhere, whether ADF don't restart plan this thing on a how, FM no pity, he leave the old side way for the work for the for Ngokitunja, he can't enter Bui. Now say one big can't fight for Bui. Yes, we know say na celebrity general. It be one of the most celebrity general for all general way. All your own thing we do the show for Facebook and people they know it. Unfortunately, many people they don't support it and support even for batting the way they do because of the show where they put on for the destruction where they cause them for La Republic. But if I want to tell you something, I want to tell you that FM Isubo, if you be say you evaluate now the work we don't work against La Republic, you can say you can give credit for that young man for what we don't do for whole Bui for over 2 years. where La Republic try everything. In fact, we was near fall until the new Unity Warrior. I don't know how they come out. Whether na bad luck or na wetin, Unity Warrior can't enter. It can't enter. It start now for destabilize and for undo everything where if it don't be done in Bui for the past 2.5 years for make Bui and on no go area can reach today where it don't result to the loss of our the life of our general. Now let me tell you something. Listen, many people they say FM no PG no be involved. Yes, FM no PG no maybe no be directly involved with the death of FM Isubo, but na ye it be it give the boost. Now you can boost that unity warrior without FM no pity. That ADF their unity warrior, you know, for get no ground for inside Bui. Now because they use FM no pity, the popularity and the ability to be get for galvanize and for launch that unity warrior, and the unity warrior instead of continue for the fight against the republic, they start to go against the Bui warriors the way they deny for follow them, and it can create a very big division against the Bui warriors, and now they start go after the generals of the Bui warriors until they have gone after the leader of the Bui warrior, our FM Isubo. Nothing away there. So FM no pity, may no just sit down there say no go take no responsibility. May he take responsibility for this action and come out and confess and apologize to the Ambazonian people, because now you don't cause the destruction we don't get up for Bui now. Now you don't cause the fall and the war will be for Bui. You don't make that war go down now, and now you get civilian and they go against ARF, or they go against fighters. You get La Republic, the boss now, and many other things that they go on for Bui. Where during the time where everything will be fine, where FMA Sobu begin to take control for the situation for Bui, you know, we been as so. So I'll be very, very sorry. It's a sad week. It was a sad day for me, and it will be a sad week. I don't know how long I will mourn FM Isubo. He was a very fine leader where he gets sorry hard. If he want do damage for these people, if you don't do them. If you want to do damage for even for FM no pity if you don't do them. But we say the man get very good heart for his own Ambazonian people there. But now no na the hard that way ADF get them for you.
Thank you, thank you, Bishop John. You talk some very important thing for the no pity. Now encourage, now boost this ADF. They are things say unity warriors, and if he go there in good faith, if he not say he want collaborate, you know. Now the problem that way most of these fighters they think say they go fall for that trap, so if you get any good collaboration with ADF. There is no good collaboration you can get with ADF, because if you look the history of ADF, we never count 1 or 3 like public soldiers the way ADF never do away with that one. But they are all over target from the one of the bravest fighters the way they start this fight, General Ivo of all. So they can reach now, so they Chacha of all. Like only thing that way ADF to do it. So Dr. Mwambe, I feel say former President Sako, it caused a rift a lot when he give that title for FM Isubo. As he give that title for it now, so it start cause a rift among the fighters. I feel say this title they know they over fine for this fighter they do sometimes. Because this is a FM this, FM that. It may they just give them some name the way it will be colonel or that, because this team FM it make now in Sobuna it start get some kind of way now they start jealousy, it start get rift among the two them FM no pity, FM in Subu. That was a problem. Dr. Mwambe?
Yeah, bro. I don't hear all these kind of talk them, but for me, for this struggle, so no, some of the thing way they hear, no, you just hear put them for your head, keep them for one corner. They trust with the thing you don't hear until you go hear like 2 or 3 different sources, then where they know even really linked to each other some kind of way. Then maybe you feel piece out together, because I mean, there's a lot of misinformation, a lot of counter claims, a lot of counter accusations coming from different people, and about who has done this and who has done that, blame game here, blame game there. Masa, I know they hear me all that talk. The thing why they hear and I say, for the bottom of the screen, it talks say, what could we have done? That's really what I want us to think about. Why can we Ambazonians not talk to each other? Why are we stuck in an echo chamber where we are only listening to people who are just reconfirming the stances that we already have? Why? Ambazonia, I think check the thing fine. That when we go win this struggle, we go get 8 million people then. If you say that 8 million people, they go agree 100% with everything we want to do. So what we go do? We'll go after that people then. I beg, may we find way for she don't talk. Make people then talk that under belly for why did they do this thing where they do? Because for me, my head, no, I don't understand why General Isubo, Field Marshal Isubo, General Sagan, Field Marshal No Pity. Now, brother, in this way, they don't fight together like brother. They had each other's backs. They got to be at the essence of what we were hoping for as Ambazonian fighters. And all of a sudden, they break apart like this. It doesn't make any damn sense. And we need to find a way to get these guys to talk to each other, find out what is causing this disunity amongst them, because we do not have the resources to be killing each other. Resources, financial and the human resource, we don't have it to be wasting it, killing each other when La Republic is pitting us against each other and playing all the mind games that they're doing to each other. And we're there talking all this stuff back and forth, Masa. It doesn't make any sense to me. And until we find a better way to call each other behind the scenes and say, bro, I don't understand what did happen. I beg you, fee, explain for me why you don't want to be a part of this thing. And if you don't want to be a part of this thing, then leave it, may go no. Field Marshal No Pity. If the guy no want to join your Unity Warriors issue where you don't go join with ADF people then, leave a may go no. Just do your work. When you say the work you do, it be not fine work. No, he'll join you. That is what I don't get behind all this stuff that I'm seeing. I mean, it's very painful. It's very, very painful. I understand. So as you did the battlefield, bullets that fly for your head, you don't know who's your enemy left and right. You don't know who's your enemy. You don't know how to make some of these decisions. Every decision seems like a bad decision, but Masa, La Republic is the enemy. That's the decision you should always have on the top list. La Republic is your enemy first. Then your brother, I beg, call your brother, find out what is wrong. I don't know. I don't know.
I'm telling you, you know, man, let's call a spade a spade. Make we call Tiwe when a spade say a spade. More not to change name. ADF their work now for kill, now for lie, now for deceive, now for sabotage. They cause a lot of suffering in our people. Them. That one, all we know, they do a lot of embezzlement, a lot of strangle of different things. Them. We all know that one. But make we take and say, if ADF, their statement where they make and say, now they order no pity for kill General Isubo of We Warriors. Now the statement that way ADF they make up. They say General FM Isubo, if he been a dangerous kidnapper and say he don't kill plenty for them for the unity warrior them in the past. Now the statement that way that guy they call whether a capo they say that they are the first person for the capo. Now so they talk. But our defense person here, Pasamo will really tell you because he know what kind of unity can you get or collaboration can you get, because some people they still talk say, oh, the IG don't want to collaborate with other groups, the IG don't want to do this. But from these incidents the way that they happen, what kind of thing do you think we can do with this ADM?
Thank you, Comrade Fritz. I think I don't make it clear here. This current government of Amaranta need to take this call to put ADF for a place seriously. We know, we call and say ADF, or we call and say other fighters, but we know say the only thing we don't see ADF do now to kill our finest ones. I agree say this, so we get to find some place for common ground. And we also get to find some place for stand our grounds. Because it don't too much. Collaboration. I think Secretary Chris will elaborate the other day. Wait, things say be collaboration. Stay for your base. I stay for my base. I see enemy. I let you say enemy dey for road the camp. If I feel help for stop enemy before I get to you, I'll help for stop you. And the kind of collaboration that we want. Sometimes it don't be way some news we can outside say sometimes we agent the one go do and waiting where on a police place. Say the one call field marshal the king. We can give them back up. It's knife for camp. If field marshal the king will be a smart person like we already about field marshal the king. We know about Chacha. Now we talk about Isubo. What else do we need to know that we have an enemy that has been using us systematically and we need to do away with it? I don't care what we will talk about collaboration, our brothers, our sisters, we need to come together and talk and find ways to happen. When somebody don't be compromised, it don't be compromised. If you think that so you will only be part of this struggle only because you be leader, you be compromised. So, which you have been talking and say the current leadership of President Marianta consider a program to make sure, say, any black leg we are consider ADF as one. And I put and say any black leg, I can't just call and say ADF because we get black legs inside us will not be ADF. We need to clean our house before we even succeed or fight the enemy. If you look fine, the Republic will even be able to kill the kind of fine soldiers the way we get them. Now we don't care. When I say we, they talk about this so-called ADF. We need to take care of. I'm calling it a disease. I believe so. Don't take Ambazonia to go inside theater or inside lab to diagnose whatever is the problem and we'll see several problems. For inside this matter for ADF, we just need to put a strategy to make sure say ADF is wiped out of Amazonia. If we don't do so, we will cry again. Now, other factor. If the current leadership not take them serious to make sure say ADF is wiped out, and I'm using the word wipe out and then care and then fear nobody. If we not take care of ADF and we get the capability, we'll get them, not say we'll get them. The question is why we go to do them? And I go back to Sako. Let Sako explain to us why all this why get no agenda to stop ADF to kill our soldiers. Thank you.
Thank you, Defense Chief. I know, you in FACO, you have been doing a great job there, but we know what happened there in FACO. Now, we all know this palaver for ADF. Any fighter way associate itself with ADF, they either kill him or they either fool him and join like public. Look at the number now. One example for ADF fighters. As he joined ADF, he no stay. Urole and say he don't go for La Republic. The other fighter the way will be when a great general them who started it today. From General Ivo to the other one, they win a great fighter the way they keep fight for this struggle. But as a fool them so now so they go die. Now so they go die. I want to make SOS Bishop John tell this fighter them a good advice with the advisor. Because this fighter they never fall that trap. ADF their job now sabotage, their job now for discredit and bring infighting. Now they work that. So one they bring tribalism, so one they go make or they go kidnap, they go slaughter, they go do any bad thing for this struggle. Now ADF. Not they will people that say now good in this. Because when you go for their mind where they only kill now only big good fighter them. Then they see the SDO, then the other put away now the Republic people they know. Now only fight at the way win at the way we hope for. Mr. John, so what be your advice for this fight and the way they still get plan for join ADF? Because the thing the way they do it too much.
Well, which have you talked now say ADF the fight na different fight. They need fight na the same fight with the fight. That one be very clear. Yeah, some people they talk say oh we have to find a way. We have to find a way. Man, I don't know whether it will take now 10 years for them to know say ADF this so you need to fight at the same fight with the fight. If ADF the fight the same fight with the fight, maybe people they show who say ADF the fight. Maybe they show how many land public way ADF the kill them. All ADF they do now for kill people. When ADF they start fight for Mumu, they be arrest someone senior divisional officer will be an apostolic church member. Carriage today. That man just disappeared. They don't even see his body. You know, the two I want to talk now and say ADF, we ARF, they get to be very careful with ADF. ADF is not working for us. I get reports, even for the same way, ADF, if you call with people there for backup where they come already a plan with La Republic, when we ARF they come now, the AR the ADF they will be the already plan La Republic will just come for ambush to people there for road. You understand? They don't do this many times for inside Bui. ADF the work in collaboration with La Republic. Now, this is what it is. ADF they get a goal. They want to say may every strong ambassador ARF may be eliminated so that when we don't fight this war, we did position for go for Bui and that time they go match. I don't know where Ayabacho we don't talk this thing, but we know you won't believe. He no be interested for what we or what he owner say he won't be the first way when we go for Boya, he go he don't even talk say when we go for Boya, he go continue for 5 weeks. As long as he no be in charge, he go continue now for be that internal rebellion where go be for inside Ambazonia. And I don't know any Ambazonian say, let's collaborate, let us be unity. Which kind of unity people are talking about? Why would be so foolish that they look, my fellow brethren, look, you cannot use emotion to fight a war. Which way they kill we for inside this Ambazonia because many people they don't become war advice. There are people directing and guiding this war fighting where they don't get no business doing because their heart is still dealing a civilian heart. War na say if you face your enemy, if you not kill your enemy first, your enemy will kill you. That's what it is. So when it is between you and your enemy, there's no mercy. And that's why they teach us in the military about cinemax. That is shoot to kill. You aim that your enemy for the point where your bullet no go miss. Cinemax for me to bam. If you know say that the way other breastplate for here, you the time na head, you know, time na place you growing. Play where you knock it so bam, you go fall. Now do you go? You know the give your enemy chance may you go. And I be don't talk at one time even when I be Secretary of State for Defense. I will already make an this thing and I describe the different kind of enemy they will get for inside Amazonia. And one of the most dangerous enemy we will get now the enemy where they inside house. The enemy where they inside house it be more dangerous than the enemy where they far. When we train for military, they teach we how to take out target. And the first way they tell me I say you get to kill the enemy where be closer to you. Because the enemy will be closest to you, it be more dangerous than the enemy where they 300 meters, 500 meters away. So you kill the enemy where they within you first before you start to aim for the enemy where they far. So before we for Ambazonia, we know the see and that way would bring sorry heart. This thing where you get local government, some people, listen, defense make this ARF, make people they move their hand for they leave people that they do defense, make they handle ARF them because of a sorry heart, of a family heart, of a man no man heart. You don't come for inside the defense. Now it make we would lost some of these things them and would put our fighter them at risk. Please permit me, may I just take some one thing for make Ambazonia may they understand who is a fine soldier. No matter how brave somebody be, a soldier na person way a be submissive to authority no matter how powerful he be with a weapon. Any soldier where he not be submissive to the civilian authority, that soldier is not a good soldier and that soldier not go far. I get Ambazonia there, they get mixed feeling. They just see when the fighter carry gun go shoot, he bring down some La Republic, they have, yeah, that's the one, he's the man. No. You have to look at the soldier, well, look at other qualities of a soldier that can make him. we talk about this no pity. No pity na very good, brave warrior, but no pity, I can tell you from all the defense chief, no pity disrespect authority. He doesn't listen to authority. On the contrary, Isubo was somebody who listened to the authority, who respect the government, and who follow his chain of command. But no pity, on the contrary, doesn't. And when I saw this long time ago, people don't want me to talk about no pity. I'm not close to no pity. You understand? You know, when some time ago, when we caught out those fighters, including Tigers of Bafut, who were terrorizing people, you know, people was hey, Bishop John, why you go and be calling fighter name this and that? Let me tell you, my brother, somebody can be a good fighter today, and he backslide. He can change and become somebody evil. The fact that he has fought for Ambazonia doesn't mean that he continue. If you start to do something that is contrary to principle, you are evil. Now you start to do things that are contrary to the struggle, and it is bringing us destruction and putting us down. A good soldier must be able to listen to the chain of command and must be able to follow instruction. If no pity was listening to the advice of his defense chiefs, he would have not gone to Bui. He would have not done anything, because you will know that when he went there and brought that confusion and division in Bui, we lost Bui. We are losing Bui to La Republique. That's what no pity do. How good is that for us for the struggle? How good is that? How do you evaluate a soldier? You evaluate a soldier by the way he can work with other compatriots. He knows that Isubo has been doing a great job in Bui. Instead of going to become a partner with Isubo, he went and became an enemy against Isubo. How good is that? And somebody will still want to say something, or people are just using emotion or this war theme and trying to be justifying things. No, ADF is bad, and there cannot be any negotiation or any unity with ADF. It is die. We have tried that many times. It is not working. Anybody who is still saying that we should be uniting with ADF, I am not there. Go and do it for your own. And I will advise any ARF not to do that, because they are going to their grave. When you start going close to ADF, you are going to your grave. That's it. ADF,
Thank you.
I don't know. It looks like most of the people ADF, they are out to make their money. So whatever they will do to make themselves warlord and have advantage to make money or make their name, that's what. So I don't know why people are still trying to say that.
Comrade Fritz.
Negotiating about, not about ADF, please.
Yeah.
We should not be talking. ADF is not for this fight. They are not fighting this struggle.
Comrade Fritz, let me come in quickly. Let me come in quickly and ask the question, because the two gentlemen who are on the screen here, one of them is a former Secretary of Defense, and Epasamoto is also a defense person. I think it was a year or two ago when ADF was parading their takeover force. Prior to that takeover force, some of these people who are in senior leadership within the interim government under Dr. So at that time were saying ADF is not fighting anywhere. ADF has no force. ADF this. ADF is not doing that. Then all of a sudden, ADF came out with this takeover force. All of a sudden, those same senior people in the Dr. Sako IG started came out. Oh, ADF is a problem. ADF is a problem. We have to take care of ADF. Why is it that they have not put something together to take care of ADF? If ADF is really a problem, and I'm not saying they're not, but I'm asking, if it is really a problem, then what the hell are we still dealing with them up to this very time? Number one. Number two, if ADF is as bad as they say it is, our brothers and sisters who are in the ARS are fighting in Ground Zero. They are part of the same county LG alliance. They are seeing their fellow brothers and sisters being killed by ADF. Why are they not the motivating force to you, Secretary John, when you were the Secretary of Defense, to you, Epasamoto, when you're the Secretary, wherever you're the Secretary of the Armed Forces there? Why are they not putting pressure on you all to equip them with what is needed so that they can take care of ADF, so that we do not have to be dealing with this story over and over and over again? I don't really get what is going on. I don't get what is going on at the level of defense management. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Let me come in there, please.
Yeah, Epasamoto, go ahead.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Ngwambe. I think that is a very good question. I started by saying that we need to find out where our problem is. I think we diagnosed that problem. And I stated that that problem, in my opinion, by the way, a little correction from Fritz, I am the Deputy Defense Chief of ACO, not the Defense Chief, but I am the Defense Chief from local LGA. So go back to the issue. When I call SACO as my point of reference to why we still have ADF doing what it's doing right now to our people, I go back to Sako because answering your question, I have come to realize that Sako was making sure, doing everything to make sure that things don't happen. I may not be able to give you details, but if you ask me, now why didn't we call on the government to provide what is needed to take care of ADF? I will tell you that we did. I did. Not particularly ADF per se. I believe that if you have a government who dissolve a whole security council in a county, block that security council from getting funds that can be used to execute the war, and uses his power to upset a strategy put in by the Security Council to counter something like the Shan tournament in Fako and the AFCON, you begin to see who this leader is. This is what Sako did to us, the Fako Security Council. We resisted it, used our money from our pocket to move on, but because he had the power, he came after us with strategies like, hey, what is your strategy to do? What do you have to take care of this chanting? And we tell him, oh, we tell him we have this strategy. And then he uses his authority to impose something that is contrary to our strategy. So if you say we are not talking, or what were we doing? Why didn't we call on? We did. Maybe Comrade Fritz will find time to bring us back here to just talk about what we have been facing in our respective counties, in our respective security teams and stuff like that. Because as far as I know, the government of Sako has been responsible for what we are seeing in Ambazonia now. And I'm so ashamed of people like Professor Ayin, people like the Mungwas, still standing with this man. Let me just make something clear here. The Chan tournament in 2021, January 2021, was not supposed to happen. Sako stopped it. Or Sako stopped us from making sure that that tournament doesn't happen. He did it in a very systematic way that you will not even know it until somebody tells you. And I still see people, some of them call themselves doctors. They have everything line by line telling you that this is this man's action and this is the result of it. At the end, so if you say we have not tried, we have. I'm only pleading with the current administration to listen to the people and to make sure that they take things serious, because we have had enough of this blame game. Why is this happening? We have had enough of it. Thank you.
Thank you, Epasamoto. Thank you very much, the panelists.
Yeah.
I want,
Please let me say something about that.
A lot of things in there for this thing where it be very sensitive. I don't want to go too much deep inside because it be sensitive for we to talk something the way the present government the plan for do. Make we keep those things them. We talk generally because we just want to know what it happen for General FM Isubo and who they be there around there and which general the way they be there with. From the discussion we will get them, we realize say a lot of people the way they be the drive for go for some meeting, and during that meeting they be ambush them. That's what it happened. So and we all know say na ADF they don't plan that unity war or they don't plan say they must kill FM Isubo. So now the thing anyway it happen way we talk say ADF that it cause havoc for this struggle. You know, if the fit do things the way Insubudo do for this short 2 years, I fit talk say yes, we feel respect ADF. But if they do now only the kind of thing the way they key now only general them, now we go respect them. No man if you respect that kind of group because all their work now they for plan for kill our top supreme generals. Now other way they do for this struggle. I still doubt who they still follow these people the way they call them say ADF and whether egg of sea they call them. You know, just for discuss destruction. General Chacha was a very powerful general. They just plan only for killing. Yeah. Now they don't come for Bui now. They don't come divide Bui. Say Bui Warrior United, whether Bui Warrior what. You know. Okay, man, let's move to the next topic. Let's not
No, no, please,
delay.
please, Comrade Fritz, let me add something to this, please.
Okay,
About
sir. Yeah,
Dr.
go ahead,
Ngwambe asked a very
Bishop.
good question. I want to give him answer. Okay, good. Now listen, Dr. Ngwambe, you asked a very good question. I want to use this opportunity to educate Ambazonians. I'll talk for PG May Oma here. I want to use this opportunity for educate Ambazonian people. They may they understand say the kind of government where we get now shared government. The Secretary of State for Defense does not have an army. The army we have is being controlled by the local government and the counties. Now, one time for Bui, with people they don't take decisions, say they no fit turn weapon for their own people for Bui. Let me tell you. And that's why you saw the ADF continue to kill them in Bui. Because even if the soldier they talk say they want to fight for eliminate the internal threat, people within the local government, where they get ties with some of these people, they talk say no, we cannot turn weapon upon our own. At the same thing happen for Momo, the same thing happen for different place. May I tell you another thing where they we get another very dangerous group where it there Manu for Manu County, a human job where they call they say AMF. You know, the two na trouble just they say like ADF. It didn't say like ADF in disguise. And they cause a lot of havoc there, disarming our ARF and killing our ARF. Now, when you say you want to go against these people, there are people within us here, Dr. Mwambe, you can only give the instruction for them to do it. But when you go to the local government area and the defense chief, they do not execute. They do not execute. Let me tell you, if you look at it very carefully, the ARF on the ground who have been very careful with ADF, not making friends with the ADF, they always stay clear. Those who are always thinking that, oh, now all we the fight for ground zero, this and that, they are the one who end up dying because they don't want to pay attention. Something is very clear. Who is ADF killing? ADF is never killing La Republic. They are only kidnapping, arresting people. When we call out Tiger, some people came against us. Is that not Bafut issuing a letter now against Tiger? Say Tiger has been demoted or something like that. I mean, when you see this thing, stand on principle. Don't go by sentiment. No. It's only principle that will save us in this Ambazonia. But I'm very sorry to say that most Ambazonia don't work by principle. They work by sentiment, emotion, and that's how we make a lot of decisions. And also don't forget that Dr. Ngwambe have been out of the SOS position for a long time. You know, not only now, some people still think that, no, I've been out of that SOS position before they brought in Zama and before this present time, and I'm not there. So, but I've always given my advice. And like what you said, when we started crying and saying that, look, there's a threat, people within the defense community, the local government, they don't want to listen. When I was the Secretary of State for Defense, I gave a form for a survey for everybody to make that report and tell me about the internal threat, the external threat, their capabilities, the enemy capabilities in their local government. I want to guarantee Dr. Nwambe, not many people did that, and it took months even for us to get some of the report that we got. But nobody will acknowledge the existence of ADF or AMF or internal threats in them. This shows you how much these people fail to identify the threats that we really need to identify. And that's why we are still playing Mago Mago with La Republic in Ambazonia. Because we don't see them as threats. La Republic is a threat. If we want this war to change hand, we should go against La Republic. All La Republic sitting in Ambazonia, we should go against them. You will see how this war, United Nations will start talking about us. That we are using sentiment. Sentiment.
Yep.
It will not take us anywhere. This is what is killing us. People need to start to call a spade
Hey,
and stand with it. Yeah,
Bi-
that's it.
Bishop Bishop John, I agree with you 100%. I mean, especially for that Tiger matter. I remember that Tiger matter where you be go talk and ho-ha for TV. Then you come meeting people that they bend mob. I they look the people for that meeting like say, Massa, I don't know. I don't know what to talk. We did with for war. Some kind of thing and way it did for war now. If you leave a May overpass, now you go die lashima after we don't finish.
That's
That's so
it.
it did. But if people they don't get that kind of heart for this thing, but they one day for some position where they handle that matter, now they know. And that's why this thing is going to take us the next 20, 30, 40, 50 years because people's brains are going to have to mature. A different set of people are going to come in and take this thing to the next level. That's what's going to eventually happen. It's unfortunate, but that's so it did for me.
Thank
Can I
you,
just add
thank
to
you, panelists. I want to say, make we talk this thing where it happen for where we see some funds and some chiefs them. They invite them for France. You know, sometimes when they talk say this people where they slow we. Not na only these kind of groups them. These chiefs them, these funds them. They dey help for slow this struggle because they dey work with the occupier for slow us down. You know, we don't see a lot of chiefs them and funds them. They don't left their palaces them. They didn't have a Yaoundé. They didn't follow. They don't know about their own people them again. They don't know their tradition again. So when they don't burn their palaces them, army they don't burn their palaces them. But we hear say so one day they go for France for go get one a meeting with the French people, them French one a French president on a who them for the one help for can fix back their palace. Now who's kind thing where they fit fix them back where they don't can burn them. If they can burn your traditional rights, your cultural relics, your traditional importance. Now who's kind thing the way they fit can do them. A Pasaboto, you know very well the tradition of the poor of Ako. If you see a chief the way they go for the kind of mission, so you go like them where they go now go sell Amazonia.
Comrade Fritz, let me just say something here. For sure, it be so disappointing for CISA we our chiefs and funds they don't keep we for inside this struggle. And I just want to bring us back to about let's just go back to the time of Aijo. I get my I get an understanding say Aijo be visit the northern zone when he be president. And he call, I don't know why na fond of Bafoot or na fond of Bali. I don't just mix up that. He sent words to the fund to come meet him wherever he was, whether it was in the colonial governor's office or the colonial deal's office. And the fund told Aijo, President Aijo at the time that the palace does not move. And I think I get picture where Aijo go visit that fund for a palace, sit down for a palace. You know, politics don't come inside traditional royalty. And we don't see how some of our funds and chiefs, they don't sell waiting we will be whole and secret inside palaces. They don't see everything. We don't see everything where then they do. We don't usually X now with the one come out, leave palace, go for France. Because they on a stipend. They on a stipend. Make them flop, their family flop. But now the majority of Amazonians, they cry every day. They suffer the consequence of this war. We instead of for join we will fight the colonial master and send them away from our country. They go join with the colonial master to continue to keep us in bondage. We will not take it. The time has come. Let them go France and do it what they want to do. Amazonia, as we don't start, we no go stop until our freedom. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, Dr. Nwambe, you see the chiefs the one way they don't go for they talk say they whether a house of chiefs, I don't know whether the house of chiefs it being meant now for say the one fools on chiefs them because they pay this chief them money, so they rely on their monthly salary. Their little stipend in the way they give them, we like probably they give them. Now they depend on them. So you see the kind of say now what kind of thing we fit use am for tell them say this thing be wrong because remember the time when they start do that reconstruction, they go for reconstruction, they all chief them, they start say oh they wan go una go reconstruct wetin una pikin dey die, una family don be displaced, war we dey for serious war, we want justice, una dey can't preach about peace. Dr. Nwambe.
Bro, the thing where they funny for me, no, the particular fund them and chiefs them where they go France, they remind me of that African president them. I think some African president where they na Benin or na Togo. Down when the Charlie Hebdo thing be happen, no, he be there on top TV, they cry for the loss of life for France. And I be the look the guy, ask myself, say, when France they sponsor people that made they kill African them, did they cry for you? And I want to ask the fund and chief them that very question them. The fund and chief the way they don't go for Paris for France. France they sponsor La République du Cameroon under dictatorship, me it kill your people then. What the hell are you going to France to go and do? If you're not going to go to France to go and protest. But you're going, I mean, look at these pictures that they're showing there. They're standing like they went for a visit. People are back home dying. Little children are being killed on the streets going to school. I mean, it is just despicable what the funding, the chief they don't do. The people that when they enable France in the killing of your people, and you do just by this act alone, you don't prove for the Ambazonian people, then the people of the former British Trust territory of Southern Cameroon say, when I know that this represent we, and you don't care about us, because France is not crying when La Republique is killing us, when France is giving La Republique diplomatic cover for La Republique to kill us with impunity. French citizens don't cry. Macron does not cry for us, but you all want to go there and visit with them, give them a photo up that Southern Cameroon's funds were there with you. That's what you all did. Look, that's why I mean, for me, when some people they come out talk say some of defund them, they go will make them they disappear. You don't understand because they foolish, no, they foolish it too much. The foolish it too much, my man. And if you even want to ask me, that visit where they go for it, no, I sure say they be get some kind of backdoor meeting where they be tell them what they get for do as they go back for country. I don't know. That just for me, because for me it make no sense. Say some country they sponsor another country, maybe they kill your people, and then you carry your head, you go for them for go, they learn how to build palace for them. Like say they know be teach you how to do palace. Like say school then like Cotech and all kind of technical school, they know they where they feed they teach Peking how to do construction back for country. I mean, I don't understand these people in my man.
I'm telling you, that people they so they don't get a small envelope now. Say the time when they come for that time for reconstruction, they begin all the envelope. Now they don't come now for this time. Remember, say sometimes don't be where they be arrest out that phone of Bui on a forum so where they be arrested so the man confess say they don't go support the Republic again. They be they be arrest other people then too. When because of the ties where they get to the Republic. Your people are dying. They kill on our own people. You as a traditional ruler, as a person to keep that tradition, hold your people tight, be with your community. You instead go live in a Republic. All they stay in a Republic now. They don't forget about their community. They chiefs the way that when we get with the call and chief, with the ask and say, what it happen for Bui, what it happen for Oku, what it happen for this place, what it happen for this place. Chiefs are not even there for their villages them again. They're not there for their own throne again. They're not going for the do politics for House of Thieves. They call it a House of Chiefs. It's too bad. Bishop.
Yes, my fellow comrade. They real chief them way now would consider a chief. Like the chief where they don't kill him for mention. Now chief that chief you don't call me. Now chief that way this United Nations Development Fund. They want go say they go do reconstruction in the middle of war. They begin to do something much equal, we forget, we advise. And we advise, see, we tell you, so, and it follow we. Una see and say the rich chief the way they be ambassador in La Republic, they go after that chief, then La Republic, they kill that chief them. All the one they wanna see and so na ninga them all. The one wanna see and so na ninga them. Now set out and this now number one black leg than this, where they give La Republic the ability for continue for still control our land. Now enemy than this chief them na enemy. We don't see all their face. I hope so now mark all their faces and I see them so. France when I kill we, France when I kill Africa, France when I fund La Republic. Now they do all this evil thing that they go say they go for France for go do it. Say they go museum. You go for person where don't kill you, burn your. Now France born the same palaces then now they over 500 villages where they born. Now France and agent them La Republic they do that thing. Then you go now for the same France.
Madam,
May I tell you now, man? I don't know how not even this. All these people themselves for don't now mark them all now enemy. Consider them the same like in fact they are worse than La Republic. These people are worse than La Republic. I don't get nothing for talk about them saying an enemy. We mark them for destruction. That's all. What are you talking about? And somebody say, it's our chief. The chief is sacred. These are set out. These are the people who continue to make Amazonia to be in slavery to this French regime, to this La Republic colonialist. I am telling you. So what are we talking about chief about? They are going all that nonsense. Say they go see how they go do their palace. It's just find some excuse. War don't finish. War don't finish. When they go for God say they go somewhere they can't make museum for their palace. War don't finish. All the chief the way you see and so some of them they can't become chief when no man not even tell them. They not go through the right procedure. They go pay money for Dio. Now Dio now the ordained chief. Now the appoint chief. And all the chief they say so they're on a stipend for La Republic. That's why they don't want to let go La Republic because they are selling the people for that 150,000, 200,000, 300,000 francs that they are getting from La Republic government every day to continue to leave their people in slavery and to continue to make us to suffer in Amazonia while they are enjoying and being fat. God punish you now. We will die all one day. In fact, they are banned from Amazonia. And I'm waiting for the leadership to make some strong rules and the Restoration Council to make some strong laws, especially those chiefs who have been taking our land and selling them to La Republic. I have said it and I'm going to say it again that all those lands since 2017, all that land the way they begin sell them, since 2000, when they cancel all that land the way they don't sell them. Now what don't get Amazonia will renegotiate all those deals. Because these are the people selling our country to La Republic. These are them. You call them chief. Which kind of chief? Chief people they all. Now what have you talked?
thank you, thank you. You know why they chief the day for France? That our brother they call Agbor Balla. If they na for Swiss, they say if the chop na Swiss cheese. Say they will say because of meeting with Swiss peace. Wait. We all know say these people them now federalists. Any man where it dine with these people them, you are a federalist. Agbor Balla, if you did it, we don't talk say anything where it get to do with coalition for dialogue and negotiation. Where we don't call and say coalition for surrender. Make that put no say now federalism and someone that are unionists. So anything where you do with them, and they don't make them clear. The IG don't make them clear. Say these people them no one they represent we. So whatever they go do for Paris, for France, whatever they go do for Switzerland, they know they represent we. Make another one. E passamoto.
Of course, you don't talk them all. I think at some point, me, I ask myself, say, our people, then they really reason. So, because we don't talk them time and again. Say, on October 1st, 2017, Amazonia be restored independence. And there is a body that has authority over Amazonia. A government that takes care of the business of Amazonia. Any person or group of people that they come up for whatever reason, go out there, do anything where they like, where they not be mandated by the people, do the government of the people, and to an extent, in act. I don't know why they don't understand, say they just waste their time. I don't understand why people then go continuously they do one and the same thing where they know the result if they know the benefit for backside. These chiefs and they don't commodity funds, they don't come go France. Whatever they don't go do, they will come back. Like Balla don't come go now Swiss, go do with you. Ambazonia, they no mandate. None of these people then will go do anything on their behalf. So they know the result. Even the international community know those things are just water thrown on the deck's back. Dead on arrival. So to me, I didn't see anything wrong with. I didn't see anything to worry about Balla going to Switzerland. The only concern I get now say that na Swiss negotiation group or where they go meet with and the same one way that they meet with our team act. And if that is the case, what are they trying to do? So I believe that something the way team act get for looking to. But so far as I know, Balla has no mandate to go out there and say or do anything, just like the funds and the chief went to France. Whatever they do there, they are doing it on their own. It is not binding to any Ambazonian. Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much. You know, say, why would he fight this fight? We get enemies, then when are federalists. We get enemies, then when are unionists. So don't forget. So Agbor Balla be sponsored by La Republique. The Chiefs be sponsored by La Republique. So we all know that one because they are federalists. So we the fight now for total liberation. So anybody way to go represent those federalist views, all those things, La Republique, that has nothing to do with us. So that one be clear. And more go for Oku. Well, we see that woman the way they be go march with now. The very citizen people them. They be give them money, make they go march. Philomen Yang, where one be vice president for La Republique. You don't send people the money them. The other one, the way they give them money, they send that woman, they say me they go protest against the ARF them for Oku Day. I want more talk to one because the women them, the role where women they get for play when it comes to any struggle, it be now one way they get for help the local population them. But when we see the role where women they play for the struggle, now instead of go say they are picking them, I don't understand why it be say we don't see women the way they be marched before. You see the courage for that woman they for Kumba. When they stand, they tell that mayor say, we know one who say we cannot stop ghost town in this town. They be tell them. We be see the one the way they be happen for when they be tell that chief say, no be for year way is the other trader for Bamenda market. That women they for Bamenda market they be stand. Now the very thing we would expect for women them. We would expect women them for stand strong for their picking them. That we go say you're picking, you the boy picking, you go sell and make a killer. Now what's kind of mentality that? Dr. Gwambe?
Well, the first thing I want to talk and I say this small population where you see so you know this small population of people where you see so where they do these stupid, these foolish act, they know they represent the aspirations of the Ambazonian people and they know they represent the aspirations of the Oku people. They do their own thing. Now belly politics. All we know is to be belly politics, no belly politics.
Now belly politics. Yes.
Now belly politics big time. All we know the modus operandi of La Republique when elections they come around. They decide for the francophone side they go give their sardine and bread and sardine, all that kind of thing. For our side, maybe they'll bring some small 2,000, 5,000 with rice, gari, palm oil, all that kind of thing. So that's what they happen with these people. Then, unfortunately, because the economic situation where they now for country where because by the poor management style and the poor economic policies of dictatorship, it's forced our people to succumb to these kind of things. The only thing we advise the people the way they live for here. Now say when La Republic they come, Choco will not so. If you not take the Choco no, reach out for the Ambazonian fighters then let them know which side La Republic they come. Then you set the La Republic people then. So that time when they come meet when for pay when our brother them, they feel ambush that La Republic guy them. That's what I would do if I was you. But to go and join La Republic in the killing of your people, Massa, it doesn't make any sense. When I still give a go live amongst this community of our people, how will you want to go around inside a community where people they know say now you be sell out your brothers into La Republic du Cameroon? Now which kind of shame that way you want carry for your head? And I see this way they don't carry you put you for TV where all man know say now you they go betray the people of Ambazonia. It is not right. I'd already give one the advice when I give for do in the future. Anytime like one come give one this thing, take them go for backside no, go to the Ambazonia fighters and say, hey, La Republic they plan for come meet up with for this place. So when I feel do so for them, set them up, make our brother them, ambush that La Republic people then that way the La Republic people then now they know be able to come the Hamburg again. Because you know say time when you take the money and you know act, they'll come back for una now. So when I get for do so, if una no one made that people then come back for the follow up on top una. Thank you.
Thank you. You know this thing that way La Republic don't do them before. They don't use a lot of women them. You remember the women the way they be marched for Boya. So that one they be marched for on the day. You know, they don't use women them a lot. But they realize it hard to gain the local population there, you know. So they'll use other money. These people them for Oku. The women them for Oku, they give them money. They give them money, say whether 1,000 or maybe they go match. Maybe they say they want to drive Amba outside of their area. But we all know saying that the very thing that way they do it because Philomene Young, they don't promise to say if Amba no day for the area, then they'll give the post of vice president. That's what they don't promise it. So that's why you see the chief that they go for that they go for France. Because France will call and say they want arrange and maybe keep peace within the area. So that maybe they say they want to put Philomene Young vice president. But I want to ask Pasamoto. Pasamoto, you know the importance of women. You remember back in the days we had Takenberg, you know, we had the women the way they start this struggle back in the days when they used a peace plan. That women they march, now women they start this struggle back in the days 2016. The protest, women they were diaspora, they protest to the same way. But today we see these women now they go pay their money, they go work with the Republic military. I don't understand what kind of thing they do. Pasamoto.
Yes, you know, it is sad and it is dangerous. I say it is sad because when I look this mommy them she done for down, my heart did break. My heart did break. But again, it is dangerous because you want to ask yourself, say, now this very mommy them, and they will come off for outside for September 22nd, 2017, and tell the whole world, say enough is enough. If for any reason, we're not saying that just a few, but if for any reason some people they don't get that God start out the way we see them, we get for start see how straight, how far, or how weak our struggle don't get. Because for 5 years today, we don't start see this kind of thing that happen. In my opinion, I just use this for measure where our government, and when I say our government, I talk again back to Sako, where he don't keep this struggle after he don't be the leader for the highest length of time we will ever know. And they look some boys and they, now boys and they supposed to stand carry AK-47. Able boys, they go join for march. Since which time we'll start here, I mean, we'll get our restoration forces, then get their own shortcomings. Then now they under rain, under sun. Sometimes they know the chop. Or try to see how they will protect these very people and also for make sure say we get back our country. There is no reason for anyone, whether do how, just as Dr. Ngwabe talked, if they force you like that, you call our ARF, say, nothing this way to go, wait, they don't talk to me. At this point, you'll be covered. You'll be covered. On what, where on earth, I mean, Ambazonia is a country where it will be a country of law and order. A country that will respect the rule of law. How civilians, they go come outside, they go after the army of the country. To the extent where they even kill someone, then, which I don't ever hear. So you can tell how weak this struggle will become. And again, only one person at the point make the can ask we why. The government will just leave power. Actually, government they just remove them from power. Make them can ask we. But this one they also go to the current government. Say not take say they so not just bread and tea. There's hard work to do. There is hard work to do, President Marianta. There is hard work to do because this struggle, we don't go for some level way. If you say even by now, if we don't be liberated. But the naysayers, they don't take it back until this is what we see in our revolution. Those people, the way they do this act, make them know say this so they don't cross line. And make us send this warning for any other person where she done for a house. In the dream, say, okay, it don't happen for Oku, it don't happen for Balangi. Then they plan their own. Make them know say, we're not going to take them easy with them. So any man where she done for a house, the dream, say this thing will happen again. Make him be ready, say, as he come outside, go meet up fire. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Pasamoto. I want to talk say two happen for Oku, it happened for Balangi. And the one for Balangi, I want to make Ambazonia they know very well. The former chairman for Kumba LGA, now he own that forces them for Balangi day. He be use them for do kidnapping, he be use them for do a lot of things for that road. Now then even that fighter they be work na farm. Most of the farm the people they believe around that Ediki Balangi road, they be go work that farm them, they chop that money. But we need to see what they do for that place. Now one of the reasons that way we for Kumba LJ will be voting out as the chairman of Kumba. So people are not confused between me and that former chairman for Kumba, Tony. He named that Tony. So the people for Balangi now, they don't have suffer under this guys. Now the complaint that way we be not get since say this very Tony man they do for Kumbade. It not be the fight war. Either say this or one general they way he just died. They call him a General Mombasa. Now this very Tony set that boy up. That this very former chairman for Kumba LJ, he don't cause a lot of havoc them. Now he don't make this general. If he lock the general up for 2 months, he go lock the general up for 2 months. Now we go save the general Mombasa for his hand. We send the general now for ground one. Yes, so more another one. So these Balangi people too now they rise up to the same way. But may will make many people they know. Say nothing the way people they do for the local population them sometimes. Bad leadership. This general the way sometimes they now probably they pay them, sometimes na atanganji them, sometimes na the chairman them. The chairman and now way they feel say they don't get right and they really want to leave power. When you don't be chairman, way they don't move for power, you know what come out. Now the very two that happen now level former President Sako. That's bad spirit for La Republic. Where they go elect you for office. That very people where they elect you. When the one thing say no, okay, your time not correct, leave power. You say no, you know come up for power. So Dr. Ngwambe, I want me to give advice to these forces away. Chairmen that he use them. Some chairmen them for this struggle. If I'm not tell Ambazonia, they made a no. Now then they confuse these fighters. Then he turn, then he get their own militia, them private militia. Instead for ask them, make them fight for the struggle. Then he only fight at them, fool them, give them money, make them the fight now for them. Now so it happen for Balangi. Now he make this fight at them. They not be the fight. They all work now go work farm, seize for their farm them, stand for road, block road, collect money. Now all that they be do. Dr. Ngwambi.
Yeah, Fritz, bro, look, the thing I want to tell fighter and I say, they get to understand why we fight the liberation struggle. We fight the liberation struggle for restore the sovereignty of Southern Cameroon's Ambazonia. And inside that Southern Cameroon's Ambazonia, we go make a system where you be, maybe your parents, they know they go university or they know they get businesses, all that kind of thing. So for the system where we go set up, maybe you or even your picking, then where you were born, they go be in that first generation where they go graduate from school, graduate from university, benefit from some of the subventions where government go to give them for start businesses, for go school, all the kind of thing. We go get good, correct freedom of speech where if you disagree with politician and that politician they in power, that government no go be able to use the forces of the state for suppress you, for bank you, for put you from gata, all that kind of thing where popo dictator be they do. See all that bad roads then where then they. No, now the local government, either the county government, if that's what we're going to have set up to be the over-encompassing body for the federated system where we go get that amongst we Ambazonians, either now them could be responsible for that local roads them, or federal roads then go their way, the federal government go be responsible for that federal roads them. So that way when you get your production where you do, it no go cost excess money, made that products then come out from the farm, enter for road, reach the destination for market where they get for reach. You feel live you for place where you live, you go university for Bamenda where go take over time for reach that Bamenda University, all that kind of thing. And that's what we're fighting for. So when you leave certain people then, because for Bafu, be our LGA chair be there any hand in that. It be some people where they call themselves coordination. So if you leave people then for diaspora, maybe they fool you, some certain anti-liberation people then, anti-freedom people then, anti-justice people. If you leave that kind of people, they made it fool you. May you the target fellow Ambazonians. May you the suffer fellow Ambazonians. Just no say time when the liberation struggle will finish, no, get place for stay because maybe for last fight you end up go this stay for La Republique du Cameroon. And you know what La Republique du Cameroon will do? If they know say you've been a former fight that they bank you one time, saying for Konegi, beat you or matrap, all that thing the way they want to do, then kill you. Then Naida you don't finish, will be able to benefit from the system where we will put down after we succeed for this liberation struggle. You understand now? So the best advice I want to give you now say any rogue person for diaspora, any strange chairperson or any strange group or any strange movement that they give you bad advice so for harm your people, no listen for that people then. Instead, identify the leadership, identify the structure, identify the government, identify the persons where they get that good heart for fight for this freedom, where they motivate you for fight for this freedom, give you the good advice for fight for this freedom, and most importantly, equip you properly. May you be able to fight and secure the sovereignty of Amazonia. No, they listen for Balo people because these Balo people, that way they don't chuck you inside Bolo. When the thing don't finish, they know come save you. They know come be character witness for you. Down when we try you for the bad behavior way we do against our people. They know go be character witness for you. As a matter of fact, if they even want to show their head for Amazonia, we instead take them, put it from Gata alongside Yakona May when I do look each other, then you explain for you why if they give you that kind of foolish advice for turn against your people. So now the best thing now I tell you, my fellow Amazon, if you're really in this struggle to fight for the liberation of Amazonia, if you're not in this struggle to fight for the liberation of Amazonia, what you're going to reap is what you're going to get. You make your bed, so shall you lie in it. Thank you, Comrade Fritz.
Thank you. Bishop John, I want you to come in here to, especially when it comes to this issue of General Nambere. You know him very well when this DDR center thing, and he was a major engineer of trying to take our guys from ground one to ground zero and to La Republic. So I don't know what advice can you give to these fighters that are still going to listen to these people, because we hear that failure or success Congo, as he called himself, is in ground one now trying to rally some boys to take them back to Yaoundé to go and put them in the DDR center, the Center for Juvenile Delinquency. I don't know. They be say from General Nambere, you go hear the thing the way the body they go through. They be food and say they will give them work. They be talk say when they come for DDR center, they go train them, they go send them for CDC, Sonara, Yaoundé, and all others lie the way they be they lie them. But General Nambere, all the way move last time, he did lament. It is say these chief them, these allies them, where we already talk about them. So now them, they go say them, they know what many war end. Bishop, Abayo, add all these black leg, they add the chiefs and all these people and talk about them all. I beg.
Okay, thank you very much. Um, for Nambere, Nambere no say be like man because from that time Nambere be make audio where I be go meet up for Nigeria. And where I be go now, go give message. I just see money, man, carry a come say na money that entering government door send me I can give 1,500 naira. The man after he no even talk about all the about the $8,000 where they don't give for take and prepare himself for before he go back for ground zero. He no talk about that one. So Nambere is a liar, and na person way if you don't decide for come for war and he want use every means to make money. And I hear say pay money but until they begin some money during that period where take he just spend am for day, and then now you go join la public to say he go get the money we want am. But now he lament. So we not going to take number very serious. He don't make himself a fool. He don't disgrace himself. I don't know how he go do redeem himself for the Ambazonia people them. But what I want to talk for the ARF the way they follow this kind of people, no say I swear we fight this war. Ma tell you, enemy no dey respect you. They fit take you now, they use you, they go kill you. We don't see many times where they don't take people they don't take La Republic for go show AR play with AR of day. After they go, they kill them. Then La Republic will not do you anything good. Any man where they go for La Republic, they say La Republic go do them good, you are a fool because the next thing will happen now you have frustration and I die. You will die. So men no man no ever fall for that DDR of nonsense. It's a very big fat lie. I mean, you know, try to play trick. Some people they go say, "Oh, I'm going to take the money, then I'm going to run away." Now fool yourself that way. When you go inside there, you go enter tight. Now, so maybe now some people the number they think so when they go get a million, then they will come buy stick, them will do so. No enter that trap. Now you die where you go find them. Leave up. Even I wait to where you day. May you stay where to where day and focus. If we all join together, we will fight this war better. But all that distraction is no good. Now, more will go first as on two topics the day where I not be put contribution for day. Number one, now this thing for Agbor Balla, I want to talk about pigeon so that maybe put the American name. Agbor Balla is not for the interest of Southern Cameroon. Agbor Balla is using this situation to benefit for himself. Agbor Balla is a paid agent by La République du Cameroon to fight for the interest of La République du Cameroon that is against the interest of the people of Southern Cameroon. Agbor Balla does not represent any Southern Cameroonian or Ambazonian. So everybody should get that. Agbor Balla is a paid agent to destabilize Ambazonia and to work against the interests of Ambazonia. He's using his stature as an Ambazonian to work with La Republic, and the people will see him as a moderate person. He's not a moderate person. He's a federalist. He's a La Republic citizen. He's a La Republic agent. And anything that Agbor Balla does will not be respected in Ambazonia. Anybody who is giving money or supporting Agbor Balla for what he's doing, you are wasting your money because Ambazonian people have rejected Agbor Balla, and Agbor Balla does not represent the interest of Ambazonians. I want to say that. May all man get that way it goes. So they don't go say they all carry people for ground zero. May they go for Switzerland and I say whether ground zero will be in charge. Ground zero is not in charge. The people who are really taking care of the revolution, they are they're fighting, and some in the diaspora. So Agbor Balla, you know, represent interest. Number one, not one thing. Number two, these people they were the key ARF. I want to create a balance here. But first, no make mistake with key ARF. Now I think that we don't talk say for ground zero, make they form ground zero civil society. That means say make ground zero they group themselves where they too they go the judge case, they too they will take care of situation, they go connect with diaspora for see how we fit run the country very well. The Department of Home Affairs it try to work that with Secretary Ghana for see say we fit get this civil society them way una one dey for ground. When thing they don't hot so something concern una with the ARF, una go report am so that we go try to arrest the situation instead for una for take matter into una hand for start go against the ARF. No matter how much money somebody pay you make you kill the ARF, you dey spoil your family, you dey spoil your name. That probably not go do you any gain. Someone will not go against ARF them now. And then on the flip side, ARF might tell you that situation will happen for Oku. I don't get a direct source from a general on the ground. Within a space of about 4 kilometers or 7 kilometers, 4 kilometers, they have 7 checkpoints that this boy Bush Rambo put up. And they collect money for everybody, driver, everybody. They just smoke the people with money. That's what make the civilian to be angry with the ARF. And that's why they went after him. That's the truth. This thing that happened in Guy, they killed that general. We will blame all those people who killed that general in Guy. They will pay. I'm telling them they will pay. But also, some of these fighters, they will leave what they are supposed to do and start going and extorting money or trying to get money, use force to get money from the people. Now, this is what is not good. That's why we want the Ambazonian people to form civil society on the ground so that they can organize themselves, that when there's a problem, they can call the leadership and we can judge this problem instead of good. And they are giving over our country to La Republique. They are giving over our country to La Republique. Do you know what that will mean to you? You know the kind of ballot where it will be for your family. Say now you the help La Republique for say Ambazonia for the go after our Ambazonia restoration forces. Restoration forces not to get for lend sense. Anytime when you go against the people, they protect you, they be their intelligence, now they hear to tell you. When you start going against that people, you go make a vex. You feel take them 1, 2, 2, 3 times. No man no go leave you when you got the tormenting for 10 times. No man no go leave you when you tormenting like that. So na to na get for learn sense. Na get for protect the population where ide una when they keep una safe. Protect the population. Anytime you go against the population, you expect something like this to happen. So I want just may we know this now. So I think Fritz, that's what I have to say. I think I've addressed all the situation. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Pasamoto, you as a defense chief, there, you know, and you know much about these generals who are trying to sway from one group to another, and some are finally being led to DDR Center. You know, what advice can you give to them? So some of them are just being lured by money, but others are not really ready for this struggle because the one day they be really there for this struggle, like Field Marshal the King, and he put in that way where you say discipline, when you say people the way they be dedicated for this struggle. From day one for this struggle, it be consistent. Money not be fully discipline. I don't know. So those kind of things if you tell you what fighter them, how they feel learn how to be fighters. You know, fighters now put away they need forget that code of conduct for respect. Respect hierarchy, respect of the ranks. Make sure that you dedicate your life for, because some of them are just following money, and that's why they are all the majority of the generals have been killed not by La Republique military. Let's be honest with that one. These generals, from General Ivo to now of Chacha and Isubo, or you know, of recent. Pasamoto.
Thank you, Comrade Fritz. You know, honestly, which way you talk makes sense, but if I base them on my experience, I go differ a little bit. You know, of course, no man will call any fighter for saying he can fight this fight. We all just been a volunteers. We see this. There is something important in us coming out and fighting this just fight. Because the international community don't put that on top, is completely unjust. Now, fighters can come upon themselves or pick, they start with sticks, then they start with then guns, and they move on to the point now where they become they come in a position where they will command the population, and the population will listen. Just as Bishop John talked, the population are your second eye if you be a good soldier. But now I'll go back a little bit, and I know the talk say this, so for a soldier for go after the population or the people and harass them, but the way they harass them, as Bishop John explained them, is a good thing. No, I completely disagree. But the question I say, how they get to that point, my personal experience, if you fit imagine, say, Fako be there, they do it way they do before somebody like Reformer, he come inside. And don't get me wrong, if Fako administration don't spend $300,000, what they talk about over 150 million francs for inside Fako between 2018 and 2020 under the defense leadership of Fomba. And then you still see say things they know they happen. People they start cry. A co-administration come together. They conduct an election. They remove Fomba. And the leader, where Naibi the Oga Kwata Kwata, and I'm talking about Dr. Sako, decide for ignore the voices of the people in Fako, dissolve the council and take form by way it don't already fail, because if you know be fail, people they know for start come agitate. I know say they get some group they call and say they don't form their own group after their removal, but one of their surrogates where they call him Mama G, they make an audio at the time talk say this, so Fombat must go because you know they do what we're supposed to do. Since when they do this change leadership, personally, me, I don't work with a camp where I beg with everything where I want a fit. So they provide with these soldiers they need. It don't ever happen. Yet, we get my trip to Boyamoni, we get draft 2020, we get draft 2021. Wait till happen, I say, instead for the leader, Dr. Sako, for take that money, give them for the people where they don't elect them, he take that money. I don't first talk about Chan 2021. They take that money, give them for form by way it don't already fail. When I form, but they take all this money, I don't talk and so keep them for site, apart from say form your own militia group. The question I want to ask and I say, who is mostly responsible for waiting with these soldiers they do? And then they talk say, the way they do it fine. But if we get the amount of money we get, I'm going to talk about $300,000, and this begin and get wait where they need them. They get wait where they fit chop. I don't think say they go out or harass people them or take money for people them. Wait the way this government, where they don't move and don't do for this struggle. I just hope, say we don't see light. We don't go green me that darkness come again. Direct to your question. Direct to your question, no matter how difficult, because that is what I have done to keep the soldiers that are actually with us now. Some, like you said, some have gone away. Some they don't come out, go join the same format through the influence of Dr. Sako. But again, we already see how they don't start scatter among themselves. But this is the plan of the agents of La Republic to make sure say this kind of thing they continue for the happen inside our struggle. And we're not going to leave and make it happen. So make our soldiers they know say this soon. They come for fight this fight with their one heart. When they get small thing for chop, they then share among themselves. As I talk, I believe say light don't come. And moving forward, there will be a change. And some of these things they will not see them again. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Our final topic for today, we'll just talk about the new cabinet, the new government, where it come up, and for the APP meeting, we will get them on Thursday. The president, Madam President, we talk say the Restoration Council will reveal the new cabinet. So on Sunday, they talk say on Sunday they will reveal the cabinet. So I want just ask our people, our former SOS of communication, Dr. Ngwambe, what advice do you have for the new cabinet that is going to be announced on Sunday by the president, Madam Iya Marianta?
There's a lot of things. Where should I really start? Well, let me focus on the fact that you know what are they there for? They're there because we're in a liberation struggle. So that means they need to focus. They need to be laser focused on the liberation struggle and doing those things that will make the liberation struggle serious. Right now, people want to see productivity. People want to see action. People want to see efficiency, and those are all things Madam President Ira Mayanta has spoken about. She wants to promote the efficiency, productivity. There's transparency and accountability. So whatever they do, they need to be laser focused on finding ways to get our brothers to be productive, our ARFs to be productive, finding ways that as they're being productive, it will motivate the people in the diaspora to continue to fund this liberation struggle, because that's where the funding is a little bit, we're having a little bit of a challenge with funding because of productivity. Well, I mean, my brother, the chairman of Balanyonga, Bad Do, he once said that all Amazonians want to see is success, success, success. They don't want to hear where we fail. And I know we get trapped in that mindset where we don't want to, we have bad days. And right now we are going through some bad days, and eventually we're going to get to some productivity. And if we can have some consistent productivity, Amazonians will be reinvigorated, and they will continue to, to fund the liberation struggle and, make sure our brothers have what they have. I really hope the president, I'm really hoping that she made a lean cabinet, meaning that you don't want to have too many people there on functions that are not really geared towards the war. So, some of the departments that I like, that I think are important for the struggle: humanitarian, defense, communications, those major departments. All these other departments, economy and and education and all that kind of stuff. Like, I don't really see their necessity or a high priority for them now. I would just rather we have people who get staffed under these core departments that are really hyper focused on taking care of our poor and vulnerable, whether they're in ground one, Mexico, wherever they find themselves, taking care of our liberation fighters, sourcing material for them. Logistics is how you lose wars. If you don't secure your logistics, you are going to lose whatever war you're in. And that's one of the things that, defense to me seems to be a really, really important thing for me. And I really hope that she staffs that defense department with enough people who are thinking, people who are developing different types of ideas to get material and have that material delivered. People who are making sure our brothers are equipped with the surveillance material that they need, so that when they go out to go wherever they're going, they can have at some degree of advanced knowledge on what is awaiting them on the road, so they don't fall in some of these ambushes that they've gotten themselves into. Communications apparatus. I hope she finds a way to get some communication devices to them, so that, because I mean, after listening to the story of what happened to Insobu, how the group went ahead of him and he was the one who came behind and he ended up being the one shot, and they had to wait for the other people to come back. I mean, I don't know how many people they were able to get to come back and go after those guys. Maybe if they would have had some better communication devices, they would have been able to call people back much quicker so they could seize these people who hurt him. You know what I mean? So, let it be lean. Let them find ways to secure our logistics. Let them find ways to be productive, and let them find ways to motivate our people to continue to finance this liberation struggle and continue to motivate our brothers and sisters of the Amazonian Restoration Forces. That's what I think, and I would advise them.
Thank you, SOS. That was a good advice, and the new administration will really want to know much, to learn much from you guys and your work with the past administration. I want to ask SOS of Defense, uh, your own advice towards that area, because we have seen a lot of different types of fundraising, but people don't feel the effect. We had from my trip to Boya to Lava Storm, Draft, Operation Federal Marshal, Prison Break. We have all kinds of names. We had the recent one is Lava Storm 3. So all those were things that were there, but people were giving their money, but they did not see the effect on the ground. So what advice can you give to the new administration coming out? They have started with the AR fee, 90% going to ground zero, 90% going for 10% going to humanitarian. SOS, Bishop John.
I think Bishop John is frozen, Comrade Fritz.
Oh,
But
it's
but
frozen.
if the AR Marianta team, if they fund what works, fund people who are working, and instead of focusing on trying to build areas that have not shown any capabilities, I think they will get a lot of success. And Diane is showing capabilities. Field Marshal the King is showing capabilities in Lebi Alem.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, this question marks that are over our brother Field Marshal Nopiti in Gokutunja, but he would have been another great person to support. And definitely, they should definitely, without a question, support our brother who is handling the Balinyonga Buffaloes, Grandpa, under the stewardship of Babi Latita. Definitely fund that team, because those are people who are actually putting in work and doing some work. Fund what is working, and then you can think about the rest, if you ask me. But Bishop John is frozen.
Okay. Uh, Epasamoto, you have been there. I've seen you talking about the failure of most of these uh, operations, like the ones that we had before. All those things, the different names, but no action. The names can change from Prison Break to Lava Storm, from Lava Storm to maybe Lava Storm 1, Lava Storm 2, Lava Storm 3. But we are not seeing the action. Draft came, draft 1, draft 2, no action. My trip to Boya came and passed. We are still, standing in the same position. The Pasamoto.
Yes. The advice I'll give to the current leadership is that the is it Ambassador Nash told us several times that when things change on the ground, the position of America will change. That is to tell us that nothing has really changed on the ground as far as the Amazonian struggle is concerned. And we all know what it means by when things change. We've raised between $6 million to $10 million for this struggle thus far. That is enough money to change things on the ground. Unfortunately, we had, and I'll say it clearly, we had thieves stealing this money. I just want to appeal to the Amazonian people that support the current administration. And I pray that the current administration do what they're supposed to do what that has not been done, give what is needed for work to happen on the ground. That is our only option to survive. Let the people sponsor and let the government manage whatever comes in judiciously. We will see a difference because I know for sure that it is not because our boys are not able, our ARF are not able. It is just because they have not been given the adequate resources to do what they are supposed to do. So it is incumbent upon this new administration to direct funds to the right places and start to get things happen. Just as we all know, once things start to happen, Ambazonians will respond in kind. That's my advice to this interim government. And I'm very hopeful
Thank you.
because
Okay.
I have been there and I've seen it that it is not the money, it is just the management. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Uh, Dr. Gwambe, you mentioned certain departments that are feasible for the new administration, but you did not mention, you said education, you mentioned humanitarian, you mentioned defense, you mentioned communication, and you also mentioned foreign affairs. But don't you think the other department has also will also be needed to, because we are trying to build a nation, and in nation building there is need for all the departments so that we see how we are moving towards Boya. We're trying to create a kind of governmental structure so that we can forge ahead.
Those departments they're needed once we have our country. You understand now? Once we've actually secured our country, and we start, I understand the idea that we'll do. We need people to start to think of how we'll develop education systems and all those kind of things now, and maybe because we're thinking that in the interim, if we secure some territory, we can develop some education plan for our students to follow up on. But I mean, that's going to take some time. I think the real priority, the real thing we need to be laser focused on is on defense, securing the resources for defense, securing the logistics for defense, communicating to our people the successes that we're having, communicating to the international community what the leadership is doing. And that's why I really focus on. I forgot to add finance in the departments that I thought needed to be there, and foreign affairs, those two. But that's why I really think it's finance, foreign affairs, defense, and humanitarian. That should be our main focus. And all this other stuff is, I mean, I hate to call it incidental or things that will come with time, but we're not in a safe environment to really affect any of the policies that will come out of some of these departments. So to me, I would just think that may we put all our sweat equity and our brain energy and our finances into defending and securing our sovereignty first. I mean, we have educated Ambazonians in Ground Zero who, when we secure that territory, when we secure our sovereignty officially in the world space, that they will quickly rush to fill in some of these departments like education, that we will need then. Right now, I don't really see that as a priority. Even the economy, maybe if you put the economics department under finance so that they can just develop just a basic roadmap that we can use, but and maybe to help develop some key strategic assets that La Republic is benefiting from that we can hit. I can see that. I can see the economics being a sub department under the financial department, but to say it's a department on its own, No, let it be a department that is really geared towards creating ideas that promote our defense activities. That's what I want. I want departments that are geared towards promoting our defense activities because, like my brother Pasamoto said here, in quoting Tibonage, when things change on ground zero, everyone will sit up. They'll say, that people if he win. You know, there's people don't like to join fights. People don't like to buy a case. Man, talking for pigeon. Man don't like to buy a case. They don't show say if you win, oh, man just tell you now. If they don't show say if you win, man no one buy a case because you know what to be. You know what to happen
That's
when you
true.
buy a case from man way. He no even shows that you win. You know the win. Time when you start losing, no, he'll start side with that man way be the BT against you.
Yes.
That's what happens. That's what I'm sure
No,
that's what
that's
the
true.
international community is worried about. If we want to talk about it plain speak, all of a sudden, if they join on our side and then we're losing, we'll start to say, oh, the whites were sponsoring these people to fight for the independence and all that kind of funny story. Then when we're losing, just because some people want to gain good graces with the people that is defeating them. So for me, they want to say if we win, when we prove that if we win, they'll join we. And that's what we did. That's what happened to the Americans in their fight against Great Britain in their Revolutionary War. There was a decisive battle that George Washington won. I can't remember its name right now. And when they won that battle, what's his name? What's this guy with his glasses? Benjamin Franklin. Yes, Benjamin Franklin, who had been living essentially in Paris, trying to get France to join and help support the U.S. Once France saw that the U.S. won that key battle, they said, you know what, Benjamin Franklin, we're finally going to listen to you. They sent over all kinds of training people to help train the United States Army, which was a ragtag army like our own, to train them to be disciplined, sold them used guns. They were going to give them new guns. They gave them used guns to fight with, even gave the U.S. government some ships, to help defend and block the British from being able to cause embargo on the United States. And that's essentially what's going to happen to us. Once we prove we can win, other people are going to come in and support us. So let's win. Let's prove we
Thank
can
you.
win first. Thank you.
Thank you very much for coming. I just want to appreciate you. Thank you, our chief, defense chief, Epasamoto. Thank you for coming home, man. I appreciate you, Masa. You really
Anytime.
do a great job. Uh, Bishop John, thank you very much. SOS Gwambe, I thank you now for coming, man. SOS, you know where mass game, Masa. Aladi Abiete, Masa.
That was
Epasamoto,
see
say
that was
glasses.
when
I
show be
like their
start now. I
glasses,
see
no?
Bishop John. I confused. I be what start to call Bishop John Petit Frere because he did like say I don't oversee.
Thank you for coming, man. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a lot to discuss, but time, and I want to thank you, all the televiewers. We are seeing you guys. We are seeing your support. Thank you for watching ABS. Thank you for supporting the struggle. I just want to make you understand, whatever is happening in this struggle, we are trying to build something. We are trying to build a country. And if we don't work together to make sure that this country is strong, if we don't see, we focus on ground zero, if we don't see efficiency, if we don't see all this productivity, if we don't motivate our people, if we don't have accountability, all these are things that will motivate people to fund this struggle. That is what we are looking for. But whatever people say, that is their problem. They can call you whatever name they call you. They call Mandela a terrorist. They call all freedom fighters terrorists. I don't care what name they call me. I don't care. What I care is to liberate my people. That's my care. You know. But let's tell you people that whatever name they call you, whether you are coup plotters, whether you are whatever, whether you are hand clapper or whatever, it doesn't matter. What matter is your heart. Are you for this struggle? Do you want to liberate your people? That is what we are looking for. And if you have that heart, then you see that motivation. You fund this thing. So please, let's stay focused and let's keep funding the struggle. Let's keep funding the struggle. Fund your LG, fund your ARF, fund the government, please. Let's arrive Boya together as Ambazonians. Thank you very much for watching.